I check it out almost every morning. Well, not every morning, but a lot of mornings at our home here. There's fog on the lake, and it's especially thick today. It's amazing. But I wouldn't want it all the time. You know? It's pretty cool every now and then, but I wouldn't want to live like that. And maybe I should go put on makeup and wake up. Okay, well, the fog is all cleared up and I got makeup on now, and I need to tell you something. This is so important because the fog can be cleared up out here, but the deal is, Mama, you could still have fog in your head. You know, that mom fog. And this is what I'm talking about. Like where you go in a room and you forget like why you're even there. Or it could be like you have so much to do in your home and you know what to do. That's not the problem, but you just don't even know where to start. Like it's so much you don't even know what to begin doing. Or it's that just overwhelming exhaustion where you have zero motivation, you know? And the thing I want you to know is life does not have to be that way. What could be happening is you could have what's called mom fatigue syndrome. It's real, it's a pain in the butt, and it's something that you do not have to live with. So I'm gonna show you in this video the 7 steps that you can apply right now to totally get rid of mom fatigue syndrome and start rocking your life and getting stuff done. So let's move on inside and get right to it. All right, well, let's move in here to my office, and I think I can explain it to you better at my computer. Okay, I'm at my computer, so let's go ahead and start the class. It's called the Mom Solution, and it's gonna change your life. Welcome, this is the Mom Solution. I'm Hannah, I'm so excited that you're here, and today I'm gonna show you the real cause of mom fatigue syndrome, and I'm also gonna show you the 7 steps to overcome it and freaking get stuff done without day planners, drugs, working your butt off, or drinking endless pots of coffee every day. So you ready? Are you excited? Yes, we are gonna have so much fun today. Now, first of all, spoiler alert, okay? I need you to understand something. Now, I know this masterclass is going to be such an extraordinary value for you. And I'm so sure of this that I've set aside one of our best-selling programs. It's called Squeeze the Day. And this is a program we designed specifically for moms. It's a home learning program to help them 10x their productivity. It has amazing reviews, 5-star rating. We actually sell this in our store for $297. But I'm giving you the entire program, the audios, the workbooks, everything for free. No strings attached, absolutely free at the end of this masterclass. So you need to decide right now, you are gonna stick with me, we're gonna go through this thing, you are gonna learn and grow, and it's gonna be amazing because at the very end, I'm giving you the entire Squeeze a Day $297 program, totally, absolutely free. Are you excited? Yes. Now, this is important, y'all, very important, because I know you're a mom, and I am too. And I know you're probably doing about 57 other things right now, right? So right now, let's go ahead and close out all the apps, off the other screens, get off social media. Don't accept calls. Please, please pay close attention because it is going to bless you so much. It's really going to serve you. And if you don't focus on this, if you don't pay attention, none of this is going to help you. So like, let the UPS man leave the Amazon package at the door. Don't answer the door, especially if he looks like this, okay? Don't open the door for this guy, all right? So go ahead and give me 90 minutes now, and I'm gonna teach you strategies that will help you get about 10 more hours in your week. Like, that's worth it, right? Like, heck yeah, of course that's worth it. Absolutely, we all want this. Now, you've heard focus on what matters, right? I'm sure you have. Well, I'm telling you, this matters. It's going to change your life. So first thing, we need to make sure we have the right crowd here. I need to make sure you are the right fit for this masterclass. So I need to get a commitment from you whether you're serious or not. And I'm going to do that. Like, let me tell you the story of 2 moms. Okay, there's mom number 1, mom number 2. Now, mom number 2, she's not really committed and she doesn't take action. She'll complain for days, but she doesn't really do anything to change her situation. This mom stalls. She kind of rides the brakes through life. She doesn't really go all in. And, you know, because of that, she's pretty miserable. Now, mom number 1, She takes action. She doesn't let excuses hold her back. But understand something, y'all, right now, like she doesn't always get it right. Like she doesn't know everything, right? She makes mistakes. But the trick is she doesn't let that stop her. She's bold, she moves forward, and because of that, she gets results. Now you need to decide right now before we move any further, which one are you? But here's the good news. Like sometimes it's not always clear cut, y'all. Sometimes you're thinking, girl, up till now, I'm like a mom number two. That's all right because I'm telling you right now, mom number two can become number one mom anytime she decides to. Okay, that mom number two is just one bold move away. So this masterclass is for you if you're a number one mom or you're a number two mom who is ready to be a number one mom. Now, if you're a number two mom and you're like, you know what, I just want to stay there, like, I don't care. I'm telling you right now, this class is not for you. Like, sure, you can stay, like, you can hang out with me and get all the information, but I'm telling you, in a month, you'll probably be right back to where you are now, and I don't want to waste your time. I don't want my time either. So if that's you, you can go ahead and answer the door. Like, that's fine, okay? But, so if you've decided, yes, you meet one of those two criteria, then this is for you. So let's go ahead and move forward. But I'm guessing that this ain't your first rodeo, right? So you've probably been to like online classes or webinars before. And I want to mention something. If you're a mom and you've been in programs before, or you've tried any kind of transformation program, like the diets and the budgets and the decluttering programs and exercises, and even using a day planner, y'all, or maybe apps on your phone, like listen carefully. It's not your fault that you failed because almost all programs are created by and for a certain type of person. It works for them, sure, but it doesn't transfer over to moms. I'm going to explain why in just a minute, but I need you to know that these programs are actually set up for your failure because they were designed for you. And I'm telling you, guilt is horrible. Like, guilt can't serve you at all. So if you failed at anything before, any of those life improvement programs, please decide right now that you're not going to let guilt stay on you because nothing positive can come from a negative place. So right now, we're going to start this off. It's a guilt-free zone. So you with me? You are not guilty, okay? There's a reason it didn't work. I'm going to show you that. Guilt-free. Now, if you've been concerned in the past that, dang, Hannah, I just can't get this whole mom thing right. Like if that's you, you're with the right crowd. And I want to tell you, you can put those fears aside because yes, you can. You can totally do this. I promise you. There is a formula and I'm going to show it to you. It's kind of like when my husband and I, we were first married, and girl, we were so broke. We were like stupid broke, and didn't have any money in this tiny little, rat trap apartment. And we were invited over to this guy's house for dinner. It was the dinner party, and it was the dinner party that I'll never forget. And we were on the way there, and as we got closer and closer to this guy's house, these houses started becoming mansions. All right. And I remember like these houses were getting so big and we were just like, it was all quiet in the car. Like our jaws were like dropped to the bottom of the car. And we're like basically drooling. We're like, what? Like we had never even been in a neighborhood like this. And I remember asking my husband, we're driving there really slow, checking out the houses. And I remember saying, how in the world do you get to live like this? And to this day, I will never forget his response. He said, I guess you have to be born into it. And I believed that. Like I believed that for a long time. And you need to know right now that that's a lie. I believed that for too long, that they were just, you're either born into it or you're not, or there's the haves and the have-nots, or there's like the lucky few and then they're the unlucky. And I thought that for like way too long. And I'm telling you right now, great moms are not born. They are created, and there's a formula. And I figured out this formula. It took me over 2 decades, y'all, over 20 years to figure out this formula. And I'm going to show it to you today. And yes, girl, yes, like I'm living in one of those houses today. Here's the front, here's the back, here's my backyard view with the swan getting some screen time. But I need to explain something before I move forward, before I show you this formula, that what's going on in your life. And you've probably even are suspicious of this. Like you probably have like suspicions that you think this is happening. I'm telling you, it is happening. The big companies out there, they're profiting from making sure that moms are overwhelmed and exhausted. And they know that moms make 90% of household purchases, y'all. They're doing the market research. They know. They know that you're buying stuff. They know that you're in charge of purchases. And if they can get you to keep needing their products, then they're going to make a killing off of you. Like you're padding their wallets. Like, let me show you. See this cup right here? I got it at Target the other day. That's it on my dining room table. And it pretty much sums up everything. Like moms need fuel. Like, and here's the solution for it. And the big companies, they're using you and they're taking advantage of your exhaustion and your overwhelm to try to get their products into your hands, to try to get you like keep on buying their stuff. Like think about it. Think about all the coffee, like the line around Starbucks, right? Oh my goodness, sodas. Y'all, there was a time in my life I was addicted to Diet Mountain Dew or all the organizing products out there. And y'all, we're like too disorganized to actually use it, you know, or the day planners that just stay empty, you know what I'm talking about? And the budgets that we try to put to work and they just make us feel like failures. And oh my goodness, the diets. Like, and did you know that overeating is actually one of the symptoms of mom fatigue syndrome because you're tired and so you eat more trying to give your body energy. And the workouts. I've got drawer fulls, like everything from Zumba to Sweat to the Oldies. Yes, I actually do have Sweat to the Oldies. And I'm telling you, these are all Band-Aid solutions. And most of these so-called solutions, they actually end up being a headache. Like I remember one time I bought this organizing system for all my plastic food containers. I'm like, yes, this is gonna fix all that mess of tops and bottoms and all that kind of stuff. And y'all, it lasted like 2 weeks. Like that was it until, you know, the kids are helping put stuff away and it's like totally disorganized, got rid of it. Now, the companies love to keep you using their products to try to ship you a solution for your exhaustion and the overwhelm. The difference is I care about you. I'm a mom. Like that's me there, my husband, my 7 kids. I was just in the parking lot at Disney World one day because someone told my son, get down. And so we all just got down. And anyway, so I'm telling you, I care about you. See, I was totally overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed to the point where we had to claim bankruptcy. Our home was foreclosed on. My home was a cluttered mess. I was out of shape. I was depressed. I had anxiety. Y'all, I was just a stinking hot mess in every way, shape, and form. And I found the way out. It has been my life goal. Like it took me a long time, and it's been my life goal for over 2 decades to never let this happen to another mom. So who am I? First of all, I'm Hannah Keeley. I'm the founder of Mom Mastery University. I've been called America's #1 mom coach. I'm the host of the reality television series Hannah Help Me. In the show, I visit an overwhelmed mom for 2 days and help her like radically transform her life. And I started helping moms. Like that was my life goal. And I started helping moms and getting these crazy radical results in their lives. Like within days, like their lives are starting to shape up. They're getting more stuff done. They're like, what? And word spread fast. And I've been on Today's Show and Rachel Ray and Fox and Friends and featured in Wall Street Journal and all these ladies magazines. And that's awesome. Like I'm grateful for it. That's great. But what I love most is what we're doing right now. Like me and you is just helping moms directly live amazingly abundant lives. And all this happened because over the past 2 decades, I developed this revolutionary method that works for moms. And I had to learn the hard way. And I mean, it took me years. Like I'm giving you the cheats here so you can avoid the pain and the cost and the time that it took me to get my changes. And I'm going to reveal this method in today's class. So you excited? Yes. Are you ready for your life to radically transform? I hope you are, because I know it is. Now, I don't know if you're anything like me back before I had kids. I had the goal of being an awesome mom. Like even before Blair and I had any kids, I remember this one day we went to Chuck E. Cheese on a date. I know, y'all, I know, we're weird. I mean, we didn't even have kids and we're at Chuck E. Cheese. Like, I know it doesn't make any sense. I know. But I remember we were at Chuck E. Cheese eating pizza one night. And I remember that night, y'all, we were sitting there eating pizza and this mom walked in and she had 3 kids with her. And she was like the it mom. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen a woman like that, but she's like all stylishly dressed and she's got this really cute purse and her hair's all stylish. She had makeup on. She's like so cute. And her three kids were like so awesome and they all like their clothes all looked cute and they were actually having fun together and enjoying each other and playing together and laughing together. And I looked at her and I'm pretty sure like she thought I was like the weirdest creeper in the world because I couldn't get my eyes off of her. But I saw in her like what I wanted to be. Like I want to be that mom right there. That's her. I want to be that Chuck E. Cheese mom. And then I had a few kids and reality set in and I was broke. I basically forgot about the Chuck E. Cheese mom and I was like, I just need to survive here. You know, we were so broke and we were in so much debt till I didn't even want to answer the phone because I knew it was going to be a collector trying to get money from us. And I was overwhelmed. Our home was cluttered. I was depressed. I was out of shape, everything, you know. And I remember one day I walked into my bedroom and I was carrying a load of laundry at the time. And I caught a glimpse of myself in our bedroom mirror. And I just didn't even recognize that person. Like it looked like I was just too young to look that old. And I had like the sallow complexion and dirty hair pulled back in a ponytail. I had on my husband's shirt because I was too big to wear any of my clothes. And I just looked absolutely miserable. And I remember at that point, I just dropped the laundry and on the floor and I literally just fell into the laundry pile, like sitting right there on the floor in the middle of the laundry, like ugly crying, you know, like bawling into the laundry because my life was nothing like what I was hoping it would be. You know, it was nothing like that. And I remember that day, I was sitting there and I'd actually pulled my husband's, it was clean, but I pulled his sock out of the laundry pile. I'm wiping off my face because I'm crying so hard. And I remember hearing the voice of God saying, rise up, like get your laundry and fold it. And I think about when, you know, Jesus told the man, like, rise up, pick up your mat and walk, like do something about this. Like don't just sit there. And man, starting that day, like the first thing I did was I got up and I started folding the laundry. And at that point, I just started hustling, man. I started working so hard. I would get up early. I'm doing the laundry. I started taking action. I started working on my finance, trying to get a budget together. I started decluttering my house. I was trying to get in shape. And I mean, I started seeing improvements here and there, but I don't know if you've ever been there. It became like this crazy game of whack-a-mole. Have you ever played that where like you hit one of those moles and another one pops up? That was my life. Like I would get my budget down and all of a sudden a bill would pop up that we couldn't pay, or I would get my exercise down pat and then I would binge on something and then I would get this home, you know, get something decluttered and then there's this huge mess in the kitchen. And like no matter how hard I worked, like I couldn't catch a break. I don't know if you've ever felt like that. Like you're just hustling. You're just digging your hole deeper and deeper. And basically, I was exhausted. Like I was working so hard and I felt like I was barely staying afloat, y'all. And then one night I crashed. Like I crashed hard. And my husband was out of work at the time. And I remember he was out looking for a job. And I was at home and I'd been working so hard and trying to get my act together. And I realized at that point, there was nothing to eat. Like, there's one thing when you say, like, oh, I can't find anything to eat. It means, like, I can't find anything I want to eat, you know? But, like, literally, we had no food in the house. And we were overdrawn on our bank account. And we couldn't use our credit cards because we were late in our payments. And I'd already borrowed money from everyone I could think of. Like, and it's one thing to go through a tough period like that by yourself. Like, yeah, I'll eat ramen for a week. I don't care. But when you have kids, like when you have a family, it changes everything. And I started to panic. I didn't know what to do. And I remember Blair got home and I'll never forget, he already looked so defeated when he walked in. And then I had to tell him that I don't know what we're going to do for dinner. And I'll never forget how he looked, like just like we were just at the end, you know, we just didn't know what to do. And just then I remember someone knocked at our door and it was our pastor. I went over and I was like, you know, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I opened the door and there he is standing there holding this big bag of Einstein bagels. And he said that he was visiting his daughter who had just gotten a job there and he was coming back and he felt like the Lord was telling him to come by our house and drop off the bagels. And I can't tell you how that day how grateful I was, but also how disgusted. Because I had let myself and my family get to that point, and even though I was working, I didn't know what else I could do. I was at the end of myself. And I started seeking God on this, and He led me to a verse that totally changed the direction of my life at that point. And it was Romans 12:2. It says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you'll be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will." And I knew at that point, like my life wasn't good or pleasing or perfect. It was a mess. Like even though I was working so hard, it was a mess. So using my background in behavioral psychology, man, I dug in. Like I began like studying the word and getting into the psychology of it. And I knew that I was trying to change my life from the outside in. I was trying to do the world's way of doing things, like conforming to that pattern instead of transforming my mind and working from the inside out. So using this research and digging in there, I realized, y'all, that there are two vastly different kinds of people. There are SCPs, and this stands for Singular Constant Professional. And this basically means that they can focus on one thing at a time. Like they have the capacity to attend singularly to circumstances or goals or events with constancy. All right, they're not distracted. Now, most personal development systems, like the money management programs or the diets or the exercise programs, y'all, even parenting and marriage programs, they're created usually by SCPs. They're sitting at a desk in an office somewhere creating these programs. And yeah, like it works for them. And it works for other SCPs. But when moms try to execute these programs, they fail. And here's why. Because moms are MVPs. And MVP stands for multiple variable professional. We do not have the capacity to singularly focus on one thing at a time. Like by the very nature of our profession as moms, we live with multiple variables pulling at us all the time. There's always some distraction. There's always a million things to do. Do you know what I mean? Like for example, okay, diets are great. But when you're making meals for the whole family, like, hello, it can work for a little while, but you can't make that stick. Or exercise programs, you know, awesome until a sick baby wakes up, or your toddler spills spaghetti noodles, or all the money management programs and the apps you download and the financials things. They make sense on paper. And then when you're talking about all the weird purchases that go along with a family, it just can't carry over. Even calendars and time management systems and date planners. Are you kidding me? Do you even know what life is like for us moms? Like when moms try to execute these programs and solutions, it's like trying to cram a square peg in a round hole. All right, is this making sense? So let's be totally honest here because I want you to clearly understand what's going on. In fact, let's play a little game. Have you ever played Never Have I Ever? All right. Okay, so we're gonna play that. So give me a nod or like a fist pump, and you're probably like, Hannah, this is a web class, and come on, you're not really here. Yeah, I am. Like we're spending this time together. I'm there with you, and our spirits are together, and I want you to really engage with me, okay? So let's do this. Like indulge me. Let's do this. Give me a nod or fist pump. If never have I ever, ready? Started a home business and didn't make any money. Y'all, if we're being real here. I started seven home businesses, didn't make a single cent. Or maybe it was a diet and you didn't lose any weight, or maybe you did lose weight and then you like gained it all back. Or maybe a budget, you did like you tried and finally instigated a budget, you're doing this financial plan, and all it did, it just made you feel like a total financial money wreck because you couldn't execute it. Or maybe it was an organizing system. And then, like, you know, like the one I got, and then you like totally blew it in a few weeks. Okay, all right. If you are still here, if you gave me some fist bumps, then I'm talking with the right person. And you know what happens as a result? This is what happens. When we fail at one of those so-called fixes, number one, you feel totally disappointed in yourself, right? Because you feel like, yeah, I failed again, I quit. Or number two, you feel totally guilty, right? Because you spent money on it. And so you feel disappointed, you feel guilty. Now, pay close attention, this is so important. Look at what happens. When you set yourself up for failure, by using SCP solutions, you develop what's called learned helplessness. Now, this is a mental and emotional condition stemming from the belief that you are unable to control your circumstances, okay? It's kind of like your brain, you like failed at all these attempts so many times that your brain just kind of starts believing, all right, I can't change it. Why even try? Like, what even is the point? So does anyone feel like that? Before I go deeper into this, I do go deeper into this in the Mom Boot Camp, but for right now, I need you to understand this, that some of the symptoms of learned helplessness are things like inability to focus, anxiety, depression, a lack of motivation when you feel like what's even the point? Like, why even fold the laundry? Or free-floating anger where you're mad and you don't even know what you're mad at. Decreased problem solving, like it's like that brain fog. You just can't figure things out. You feel like it's just foggy thinking. Or poor eating habits, or get this, chronic fatigue. So do you see what's going on here? Learned helplessness is actually is the root cause of mom fatigue syndrome. And it's an epidemic right now, y'all. It is of epidemic proportions. Check it out. 40% of moms right now are overweight. Okay, 1 out of 4 moms on some type of mood-altering drug for depression or anxiety or to help them focus. 76% of moms live paycheck to paycheck. So are you dealing with mom fatigue syndrome? Because I don't want you to deal with it anymore. That's going to end. You need to get the formula to overcome it for good. So let me ask you something. Is this you? When you wake up from your nap and you feel worse than before, or maybe this is you. When your kids are talking to you and you can't even keep your eyes open, right? So I went to work and I came up with, y'all, that's me all the time. It was me all the time, like especially reading time to my kids, I'd be like falling asleep. So if this sounds familiar to you, I want you to get excited because that's going to change. Because I went to work and started coming up with a method that would fix this situation once and for all. A method that is totally unlike anything else out there, and a method that gives us moms a secret advantage because it works for MVPs. So there's like these 2 moms, right? All right, most moms try to fix their situation and use systems like day planners or coffee or sugar, diets or budgets or workouts or decluttering programs. These all work from the outside in, okay? They're trying to fix the circumstances but not the person who created the circumstances. You with me? Now, the method that I developed works from the inside out. It changes the person, and then as a result, it transforms their circumstances and transforms their entire life. Now, this mom works her butt off and stays stuck, while this mom gets results. And the method I created is called the Mom Mastery Method. And I started working on these systems that would create lasting change from the inside out. Not trying to change behaviors, but the beliefs that created these behaviors. And things started working. Like I started applying it to me. And y'all, things started falling into place. It was crazy. Like, yeah, it was slow at first because I was trying to figure out this method. But as I transformed the inside, I started seeing radical changes on the outside. Like I started having like tons more energy, and my home was getting clean and organized. And we actually, thank you, Jesus, we like got out of debt, and our money grew, our savings grew. My body shaped up, the stress totally gone. And I'll never forget, y'all, around this time that I had been using this mom mastery method consistently in my own life, I took my 7 kids to Chuck E. Cheese. And I'll never forget, we were like all there hanging out, playing together. And this woman came up to me and she just had that look in her eyes, like that overwhelmed, look in her eyes. And she came to me, she's like, I was just watching you and you're having so much fun with your kids. And how do you do it? Like, how do you do this? I want to be like you. And I realized at that point, like, I was the Chuck E. Cheese mom. Like, it had happened. Like, that dream I had, it had actually manifested in my life. And I was like, she probably thought, oh my gosh, what did I say? Because I started crying and I was like, oh my gosh, you just don't even know. Like, you don't even know. Now, you may not be in bad shape like I was, but I know this, that you're here because something inside you says that you want better. that you were created for better. And I don't want you to spend two decades trying to figure it out like I had to do. So let's do it right now. Okay, the Mom Mastery Method works. It works for moms. Are you ready? You're like, Hannah, yes, like give it to me. Well, really quick, I want to show this to you, but before I reveal the steps, I need to show you this really short video about the origin of taking this Mom Mastery Method, what worked for me, and creating a program to help other moms. Okay, are you ready for this? Check it out. So Joanna, just tell them what happened like that night that you reached out to me.
I was at the lowest I've ever been. I was at my heaviest. I felt just horrible. And I called Hannah and I said, I don't know what to do. I've tried everything and nothing works. And I mean, everything was going against me, I felt like. And she said, give God 6 months. I mean, I'll never forget this. Give God 6 months, trust in him, and let's see what happens. And this was, I guess, June 25th, because the 6 months ended on Christmas Day. And I started going through what she told me to do. She would tell me every day, and she had me do affirmations and, you know, a vision board. And it totally changed everything about my life. I've lost over 100 pounds, and it doesn't even feel like I'm dieting. I'm never even hungry. Yeah. I've started getting up in the morning and doing some exercises, which I never did before. Never got out of the chair. I mean, my kids see a difference. It's just, I mean, it's changed my life. My one son said the other day, Mom, your face isn't near as fat as it used to be. So that's a true compliment coming from him. That's a compliment. It is a big compliment.
It's huge. And the thing is, like, you had tried so many diets before.
Oh my gosh. I did the B12 injections. I did Nutrisystem, Weight Watchers. Oh my gosh. I paid for some weight loss doctor that I would go to here. I've done everything, and I always ended up doing the same thing. I would lose, and then I'd gain the weight back. Yeah. Lose and gain the weight back. And I just stopped trying. I just totally stopped.
And the difference is, well, you tell me what you think, but the difference in the program, like all the other programs, and this, what's different about Mom Boot Camp?
Because it's biblical based. I think that's what's made a difference with me, and the support too. I mean, I have to say, having that constant support is crazy good for you, because you never get a chance to start feeling sorry for yourself, or if things start going bad, you put it out there, and all of a sudden you've got 12 women who are texting you or emailing you and saying, no, you can do this, you can do this. And that's unbelievable to me, because I'm very select over who I tell things to.
Right.
I've never been very open about things. And that's another thing this has done. It has really, I mean, I'm very open and honest now about things, and it's really changed my life.
And it's trickled down. Like, you started with your weight, and now things are happening in your finances.
Yes.
Things are happening with your kids.
Yes.
Your marriage.
It affects everything.
Yeah. And you can come into it with one goal, and all of a sudden it's that inside out.
Yeah.
You know?
And my daughter has she's 16. She has a vision board up.
So cool.
And she does her affirmations. So it's, you know, it's exciting for me. And to see the changes, to actually see so many changes occur is crazy for me.
Now, something I don't think I've told you this, is that Mom Boot Camp was not a thing until you reached out to me.
Oh, really?
It wasn't a thing. And I had been using this on myself to get myself out of debt, to get myself in shape.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so, that night that you texted me, I've never told you this. That night that you texted me, I remember thinking, why am I keeping this to myself? And God told me, he's like, you need to take this out there. And then that's when I started on the book. That's when I started on the boot camp, because there's so many moms who are so broken. And
that's true.
So
that makes me very emotional. I did not know that.
Yep. And I'm sorry I chose to tell you this while we're recording a video.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, but very emotional for me.
But it's because of you reaching out. Can I share what you texted me?
Sure.
She texted me that night, and she said, I really hate myself. I really hate myself right now. But that just broke me. And that's when I went over to your house, and that's when everything changed.
Yes.
We prayed together, and we were like, okay, 6 months. Let's do 6 months. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This is a mess. But that's when I texted you back, and I said, I'm on my way over. And we prayed together. And using those same steps, it's just 7 steps. Using those same steps, we worked together. And we developed, instead of, this big long program, we developed a boot camp for moms.
But it works. It absolutely works.
Yeah.
And I know I'm her sister, but she's changed my life.
Also, it's just the origin of it is amazing and what's happening. So I am grateful to you for being raw.
I am grateful to you.
But for being so raw and real and honest. You're changing lives as well. Just by being open on this. I didn't know we were going to do this and cry. This is ridiculous, but thank you.
I love you.
I love you. Wow. So yeah, that was the origin. I was using on myself, and then my sister reached out to me, and from there, thousands of moms, their lives have been changed. Joanna, just tell. Now, let's get into this, okay? Wow. Okay. Woo. The first step of this, we are getting into the Mom Mastery Method. Yes. Finally, step 1. Let's do this. Now, massive action. Massive action is when you make a bold move and you put skin in the game. And this interrupts your current thought patterns. It's kind of like scratching up a record, or maybe for those moms who were born after the 80s, like a CD, or corrupting a digital file. Okay, let's make it more relevant. You've been listening to the same thoughts over and over, which is what created your current reality. So we need to take massive action to stop it and reverse it. It's like we scratch up the record and we break that pattern. All right, it's very important that you take that massive action step so it breaks the pattern. And guess what, y'all? Guess what? By tuning into this masterclass, that's actually what you are doing right now, this very minute. You've already nailed the first step. You did it. Yes, congratulations, you did it. That's awesome. Stand up, celebrate. I am so proud of you. Now, when I think about massive action, I think about this amazing woman. This is Lisa Williams. And I remember one night I was doing a class just like this, and it was a couple years ago, and Lisa was on it. And she was so determined to invest in herself and improve her life that she took massive action. But this girl didn't just like enroll and didn't just, sign up to work for me. Like, it was late at night. She got in the car, drove to the ATM so she could make a deposit in her account and get plugged in so we could start working together. Is that like massive action or what? She amazes me. Now, here's a testimonial that came in from her the other day. And she said, before MMU, and that's where we use the Mom Mastery Method, my life had no direction, felt like each day rolled into the next. Time passed as I stayed stuck between what I wanted from life and what life wanted from me. One night, here was that master class. Hannah showed me that I was meant to have a better life and a life that I wanted, but I couldn't get it. Now she's a mentor, y'all. She is actually working to help other people in their life. She's actually a mom mentor. And check this out. Look at that. Here's to being bold and beautiful for a trip to the store. Now, that is Lisa Williams. She is rocking this thing, y'all. But she was overwhelmed, and she decided that night, I'm going to do something about it. I remember the day that I took massive action. Like, I bought a ticket to a conference in St. Louis. I'd never been there before. Okay, I bought this ticket to a conference to improve my life, and the ticket was like $500, and it totally wiped out my entire savings account. And that was just a ticket. And I just made that big, massive action, that big, bold move. And I still had no idea how I was going to do it. So I borrowed $1,000 from my brother to cover the flight out there and my hotel stay, but it still didn't like cover food. So I packed granola bars and homemade oatmeal packs in my suitcase so I'd have something to eat there. And when I got there, I noticed in the lobby that there was this breakfast buffet, and I was so relieved because I didn't have enough money for food. And I'll never forget, y'all, I went to the breakfast bar that morning that I was there, and I made this heaping plate, and I got to the end and I saw that it was $14 for the buffet, and I'm so embarrassed at what I did, but I honestly, like, I was freaking out because I didn't have $14 in my account. And I was so embarrassed. I put my plate down right there on the bar and I just walked away. Like, I was mortified. It was so embarrassing to me. So I ate my bars, I ate my oatmeal in my hotel room. I had nothing, but I can tell you that that massive action led to such an amazing transformation. And yeah, it was scary. Like, it was scary and it was humiliating, but it was gutsy. And I didn't want to stay stuck anymore. There's a quote that I love. It says, whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. And there's a key word right there, y'all. Boldness. Massive action requires boldness. It absolutely does. It's what every mom has got to get used to doing. Every great mom has got to get used to investing in herself and making bold moves. That's how we move forward. That's how we get out of stuck. Okay, and you do it with the sweaty pits, with the nausea, with the doubt, everything. You just learn to make those bold moves and take massive action. Now let's move on to step number 2, and this is motivation. This is actually developing a vision for your life. And I actually have a very specific system on doing this. Now, motivation today is kind of like Mountain Dew. You know, it picks you up, then it drops you flat. Like, it's kind of like those cute quotes, like those motivational quotes that we read all the time, you know, and they're all over Pinterest and they're all over Facebook and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. Y'all, that just doesn't work. Like, it doesn't. It's like Mountain Dew. It'll pick you up. It'll drop you flat. People think that that's motivation. It's not. That is photivation. It is fake. You need inside out motivation, and that happens when you develop a vision for your life. That is what motivates you. Proverbs 29:18 says, where there's no vision, the people perish, which is what a lot of moms are doing right now. Okay, you've probably heard of vision boards, right? Well, what people actually do is create artwork, and they're not really effective. There's a specific formula in the Mom Mastery Method where we actually do inside the Mom Bootcamp, we actually do a vision board together, and we use it as a tool on how to create the life that we want to live. There's a formula for doing it. I can't really go deep into it, but let me tell you, it's very important that you do develop a vision. Let me show you what happens when you do it right. Okay, this was a picture that I had on my vision board for about 2 years. Okay, I saw this in a magazine, and I'd never seen a closet like that before. I thought it was so unique, it was so cool with the glass doors and everything. And when we moved into our new house, and I'll show you how I did that too, I was putting away my clothes in the closet, and I got this really strange feeling of like deja vu. And I ran downstairs, and I grabbed my vision board out of a box that we hadn't unpacked yet. And y'all, this picture I'm about to show you, well, I've showed it to you right now. When I was looking at that picture, y'all, it took my breath away. Here's why. Because this is my closet I have today. Like, what? Y'all, that's the one on the right is the picture I had on my vision board. The one on my left is the closet that I have today. And this isn't unusual. It's not. It happens all the time in Mom Boot Camp. Let me show you. This is Angela Haverkamp, okay? She was in one of our Mom Boot Camps. And check out this message that she sent. We were messaging back and forth, and she was like, I want to tell you that my life has been incredibly transformed by Mom Boot Camp 2.0. My teenagers, my husband have noticed a dramatic difference in my life. In December, I was literally at my wit's end. I was beyond tired, beyond pain, and actually felt as if I was beyond help. I've always been the helper, hiding my own pain while pretending it didn't exist. And now I have the power and the tools to rid myself from all that silent suffering. I'll be forever grateful for the opportunity to go through and trust the process of Mom Boot Camp 2.0. Awesome. Okay, but here's why I'm talking about Angela right now. I want to show you what she did on her vision board. Check it out. She left this message that said, harvested, taking it off my vision board. Y'all, $8,760.39 paid in full. See that thing on the left? that was the debt that she was paying off. And on the right, that is how much she did. She said, Mom Bootcamp 2.0 is life-changing. It works. We show you the vision board formula. Okay, now, this is what I want you to do right now because I want to make this work for you. Now, pretend like we're having coffee. We're just like chilling somewhere together. And we're talking. You're telling me, Hannah, oh my goodness, like this was the best year ever. What would have happened in your life to make this the best year ever for you? Now, we can't spend a lot of time on this, but can you visualize, and I want you to write this down, can you visualize 5 things? All right, here are some examples. Maybe it's like I got out of debt, or I lost 75 pounds, or I have more energy, or I have an awesome red hot marriage, or I'm enjoying my kids. Like, what is it? Maybe your house is decluttered. It's so beautiful. Can you imagine that? Can you see it? I want you to write that down really quickly. I want you to visualize those 5 things. Write them down, and then we're going to move on to step number 3. All right, step number 3 is mission, and that means setting goals. Now, hold up, because you may have already heard about setting goals, especially SMART goals. Like that is so popular right now. And it's SMART, measurable, achievable, realistic, timely. No, we're moms. Y'all, this is another method that just doesn't cross over. These are made for SCPs. So inside the Mom Bootcamp, what we do are inner mom goals. We have a system where we create goals from the inside out. And y'all, oh my gosh, it works like magic. Let me show you an example. All right. This is me and Carrie Tasinger. She's one of the moms who have gone through the Mom Mastery Method. And we're just hanging out at a place with all of our moms. One time we love to hang out together. And let me tell you a little about Carrie. That's her right there. Okay, she had a dream in her heart for years to write a book, but nothing materialized. Okay, that is until she applied the Mom Mastery Method and turned the book into an inner mom goal. Check it out, y'all. There's her book on Amazon. It's got awesome reviews. Fantastic. Here's her author profile. So impressive. And here's the copy she sent me. I love it. BFG, that's one of the things in our inner mom goals. It stands for Big Friendly Giant Goal. This was her Big Friendly Giant #1 goal to done. Is that your footprints and words are all over and throughout this book. My life and my theology, so much else has changed over the past 2 years. Thanks to you. I don't always understand how. You don't have to understand how it all works. You don't have to understand. It's so cool. But I've learned that's okay because God knows, and I have total faith in him now. You crazy bless me. I love that so much. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to write down one goal for each of your 5 visions, okay? One goal for each of your 5 visions. That's really important. And get that down, like make it, you know, a specific goal. Like if it's more energy, I want you to make it a little more specific. Like what does that mean to you? What does that goal mean to you? How does it make you feel? Now, step number 4 is mindset. Y'all, I am telling you, we go deep in mindset because that's where the inside out transformation happens. Now, I'm going to say something pretty radical here, okay? You are where you are with the life you're living and the circumstances you are experiencing because that is what you believe and your subconscious that you deserve. Now, again, we go in depth in the Mom Bootcamp and we do the inside out work to change those limiting beliefs. Actually, we literally reprogram the mom brain. And here's how. Okay, you listen to yourself more than anyone else in the world. You pay attention to what you say. It's called the internal dialogue. And you place more merit on that than what anyone else can say. So what we do is we use that in our power. Now, you might be thinking, Hannah, I do not talk to myself, girl. Like, really? Think about this. Have you ever said things like, I'm so exhausted, or I'm so sick and tired, or we are so broke? Yeah, I'm catching a cold. Proverbs 18:21 tells us that the tongue has the power of life and death. Now, we use that power to reprogram our beliefs because, remember, this is how the Mom Mastery Method works. It works from the inside out. So we use the power of our speech and our internal dialogue to reprogram our mind. And this is what I'm talking about, the inside out change. Okay, you change your beliefs, you can change your behavior, and you can change your circumstances. As a result, you change your entire life. Want to know how I got that house that I'm living in today? It's right here. This is actually a picture of me before I was going walking, holding my phone right here. Okay. We do this inside. You've probably heard of affirmations. Well, we do this method inside Mom Boot Camp, and we use proclamations. We do them drastically different. Okay, so every morning I would listen to my voice and I would speak it out. Tell me, I live in a spacious home. I love this home on the water. It's filled with beautiful treasures. It's surrounded by beautiful land. Now, at that time, we were living in a tiny 3-bedroom house that was about 1,700 square feet. Our entire family. You saw how big my family is. We were living in a 1,700 square foot home. The home we have now is 6,000 square feet, and that doesn't even include the guest house or the pool house on the property. And I'm telling you, this method works. Now, inside the Mom Boot Camp, we spend an entire module on this process using a trademark system that I developed. So let me show you what happens as a result. Okay, see this table? Well, Anna used this step. Anna's one of the moms who've gone through the Mom Mastery Method. She used the step to get it. She said, I was a little skeptical about all the positive, the affirmation talk about that Hannah was raving about. But after listening to Hannah speak about thanking God for all things, even things that we haven't gotten yet, I figured I might as well try. And check it out. They've been eating a table, and she was saying, thank you, God, for the table and chairs. I love the bench that the little kids sit on. And she would say that 3 times throughout the day. Okay? Check it out. This lady was selling her table and chairs and a bench, and we already had the money saved up. I am a believer in the process. So cool. Now check this out. This is from Sylvia, and she's also a mentor, but she said that she started speaking this, and she said, it's kind of freaking me out. She started speaking, people love to help me save money. Well, I went to Lane Bryant and got a much needed bra, and a lady gave me her $10 discount. Then I went to Walmart and a lady handed me a $3 coupon for Loves. Then at Kohl's, the lady at the register said, here's a $15 coupon off your total purchase. Maybe that's not a lot of savings, but to me it is. Yeah, it is, because the process works, right? It works, and it works beautifully. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to get those goals that you wrote down, and I want you to write them down again. Okay, but what you're going to do is you're going to make them personal to you. Always start them with I. Like, I love that people help me save money, or I so enjoy living in this home. Just something that will take your goal and make it personal, include that emotion, and also put it in the present as if it's already happened. So maybe one of your goals is lose 20 pounds. You may want to word it like, I'm 20 pounds lighter, I feel so great, I feel so energetic. Or maybe you want to get out of debt. So you could write like, oh man, I feel so free with $52,000 in debt being paid off. Like, can you imagine that? Yes. So when you rewrite that, I want you to cut it out and put it on your bathroom mirror. Say it every single morning. Deal? You're going to find like amazing things happen. Again, we go deep into the Mom Boot Camp. We spend an entire module on this process using a trademark system I developed. But it's super cool. It is super cool how this happens. Now, step number 5 is the map. Now, the map stands for Mundane Action Plan, which is our system to calendarize your life. The reason it's called mundane is because a lot of the systems and routines you're going to set up to create your very best year you've ever had, they don't really seem that exciting. Like, how exciting is it to make up your bed every morning or to plan your meals? And it seems mundane, but when you set up the daily system, the success happens, and that's the exciting part. That's what's so cool. In fact, one of the master moms wrote in and she said that it should stand for Magic Action Plan. I can totally dig that, absolutely, because it does. It works like magic. Now, for you, let me ask you, do you feel like you spend most of your day like this? Like just putting out fires, right? Just putting out fires after fire. Well, instead of putting out fires, the map gives us a tool to make our lives fireproof. That's what the map does. That's because we have been strangled by a to-do list. It never gets to done. It's like an SCP system, and it does not cross over. It does not work for moms. So I want you to fire your to-do list. Right now, make a decision. You're not doing that anymore. Okay, it's not working anyway, y'all. The to-do list just makes you feel guilty, right? It's not working anyway. What we're gonna do is we move our to-do list, all of those tasks, we move it into a system of calendarizing, and we use our map to do it. Now check out how awesome this works. This is Amanda. This is one of our moms who have used the Mom Mastery Method. She said, until learning about math, I had constant to-do list overwhelm. I write everything I need to do down and then not know where to start, so nothing would get done. Sound familiar? Now when I think of something I need to do, I write in my planner, find a place in my map. I no longer feel like a failure if I don't have a complete to-do list. Says with a map, I simply move the task I didn't accomplish to the map for tomorrow. Getting so much more done. I'm so much more peaceful. Or check out this one right here. She said MAP should stand for Mama's Always Prepared. Before learning this system, I was so scattered. I often missed appointments or forgot responsibilities. Now we can build our days ahead to be on top of the many people going so many different directions. Now, Amanda has a pretty big family. So she uses whiteboards and color code systems, but it all comes down to that system called the MAP that we teach inside Mom Bootcamp. Let me show you something else. See this lady? This is Sandra Calanta. She is a single mom of 2 girls, and here's a picture of the map that she sent me. We actually give all of our moms inside Mom Bootcamp the maps right here with reprint permission so they can have them for life. But here's what she said about it. She said, I'm already amazed at my progress. I'm working on my map, so here's one I wrote earlier today, then realized I'm gonna need way more of these. Today I got up at 6 a.m. I got so much accomplished that I started preparing dinner at 11 a.m. Like what? I was getting it all ready before leaving for a meeting, a friend for lunch, realized while chatting with her that so much has already changed. Less fighting with kids, less stress getting them ready in the morning. Feel like I have so much extra time to do things, fun things with the kids. Laundry is done. I love that she said, and I mean done. Folded, put away. I can see my washer and dryer again. Dishes are done and put away. Who is this woman? Me, that's who. Thank you so much to everyone for your posts and encouragement. Okay, so she used the map to make significant changes in her life and to create more time in her day, which is a struggle for a lot of moms. Now, what I want you to do is look at those 5 goals, and I want you to pair each one with an activity, and I want you to calendarize it. So if it's losing weight, maybe is it like a daily walk you could do or something, and I want you to put that in whatever calendar system you lose. maybe that wasn't a mistake. So sometimes calendar systems are like a losing process, but whatever you're using right now, go ahead and put it into your calendar. So let's go ahead and do that right now. And we're going to move on to step number 6. I hope you're getting a lot out of this. I'm so excited. I love this. This is one of my favorites. Step 6, momentum. That should be like mom-intum. Because what we do is this is where we create our routines. There's one of my favorite quotes by John Maxwell says, you'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. Now here's what happens when you develop a routine. And like I said, we go pretty deep in Mom Bootcamp. Like we go into the brain science of everything. But a routine actually turns a cognitive decision that you make in the front of your brain, and it converts it into the back of your brain, which is the more primitive brain. It's responsible for carrying out your habits. Kind of like brushing your teeth. You don't really put a lot of mental thought into that. You just do it. Now, the beauty of this module that we do inside Mom Bootcamp is you don't even have to use all of your precious mom brain power to process your behavior. It just becomes a habit so it can free up your brain to do more and to focus better. How many of you would love to focus better? Yes, yes, please. Now, let me show you an example of a routine. I love this. This is awesome. This is Jenny Perkins. She also used the Mom Mastery Method inside the Mom Bootcamp, and she's a homeschooling mom. She's got 3 kids. Now, she said right here, before joining, she posted this. She said, I run a business out of my home. I've spent the last year feeling like a failure at everything, educating my kids, running my business, keeping the house, losing the baby weight, supporting my husband. She decided, now she enrolled in 2018, she decided this is the year I stop feeling overwhelmed and I start winning and loving my life again. So one of the things she wanted to do is bring more joy into her home. So check out this routine that she created. She decided to set up a dance party routine. So Music would go off every hour, and she taught her family, this is where we just celebrate and we bring joy into our home by dancing. Check it out. Look, all the kids are in on it, y'all. Look, she's got the whole family in on it now. I love that. So that's what she did, is she made that a routine. So right now, I want you to think about those activities that you wrote down, and I want you to turn them into routines. What am I going to do on a routine basis? So I don't like have any internal deliberation. I just do it. Like I just execute it. Now, before we move on to the last step, we're make sure you write this down. Turn this into a routine, because I really want this to be like off of the front part of your brain. I want you to bring it to the back part of your brain so you can establish significant routines. And now we're going to move on to the last step. The last step is step 7, and that's manifestation. This is comprised of 3 things. Okay? It's like the backbone of the entire Mom Mastery method. Without this in place, it'd be very difficult to execute the other 6 steps. As a matter of fact, it would probably be impossible. It's so important that in my office, I actually keep a 3-legged milking stool in my office to remind me of these steps, because without this support, the entire system, the entire method collapses. Now, the first step of the manifestation is coaching. Like, you have got to get a coach. Everyone who has reached any level of success has a coach. Trust me, I remember when I hired my first coach, y'all, I was really struggling. And a friend referred me to a coach, and I called her and I told her I wanted to work with her. And I was so excited, like, yay, I'm going to get a coach. And she was willing to work with me. And I'll never forget what she said, y'all. I was on the phone with her, and she said, okay, it'll be $19.97 to start, and then $9.97 monthly for the next 6 months. And she said, I'll go ahead and email you the PayPal link so we can get started. Well, at the time, I literally thought she meant it's going to be like, okay, $2,000 to start, which that was like all I had saved up at the time. And I was like, all right, yes, I'm going to make this investment. And then I thought it was like $9.97 a month. Like when I realized what she was really talking about, this was me. Like we're talking, and then I realized, oh my gosh, she means $1,000 a month. Yeah, that's what I was like. That's what I was like at that moment. So here's what I'm telling you. I was in too deep. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to get that money. $1,000 a month. And at the time, y'all, I didn't have it. Like all I had was $2,000 to get started. That was it. And I had saved like sweat and tears saved up that much money. But I realized I could either back out and stay where I was, or take that massive action, that bold move that actually scared the crap out of me, y'all. I'm just telling you, it scared me to death, like my heart, sweating. I didn't want to stay stuck anymore. And it was that massive action. I had to make that bold move, and I sent it over. Like I signed and I sent it over. And I honestly, to this day, y'all, I have no idea where the rest of that money came from. Like I'm telling you, I still don't know. But I found out something. Like, remember I told you that massive action is something that all successful moms have got to get good at. Well, I believe that when we make that bold move, that heaven and earth moves on our behalf to accommodate us. It's like God has everything on the other side of our boldness. Remember, the waters of the Jordan didn't part until the people actually stepped into it, until they took that massive action. So here's what happened. And the total financial investment, sorry, I had to get some water, was $7,000. Okay, $2,000 to get started, $1,000 a month. Still don't know how I paid her. Out of that coaching, I was able to pull in $17,000 in my business. So, like, was it worth it? Yeah, all day, every day. You know what I mean? All day, every day. It is definitely worth it. Proverbs 15:22 says, "Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed." Y'all, the Bible's talking about coaching. Like, I want this to be your best year ever, but you need someone coaching you who has already gone where you want to go and can show you the way and give you the shortcuts and help you not fall into the traps. There's a reason I'm America's #1 mom coach, because I get results. Now, the second leg, of manifestation is community. There's a famous saying, and you may already know this, by Jim Rohn. It's this thing called the law of attraction. He says, the law of association. I'm sorry, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Yes, it's true. You become like the people you hang around. It's called the law of association. Now, hold up for just a minute. We hear that a lot, but that may work for this guy. Okay, he's probably an SCP. So where does that leave us? Okay, these are the kind of people that, for most moms, we hang out with, right? Does that mean we're gonna soon start like pooping in our pants and turning our hair into bat ears? I mean, although that does sound like fun, like not the pooping in your pants part. But I mean, come on, we're moms. Like, we're usually hanging out with our kids, or sometimes it's these people. Like, for most moms, we don't get to be very selective when it comes to who we hang out with, right? They're like the dance moms or sports moms or the people in the play group or the reading group or our church group. And the problem is that these are not necessarily the most positive and empowering people on the planet. You know what I mean? And we need people to grow with, not gripe with. Yes, can I get an amen? Have you ever noticed that animals migrate in groups? Well, there's power in numbers. Okay, there's power in a support system. And that's one reason I developed Mom Boot Camp, so that moms could have this powerful, inspiring support group to surround them and lift them up higher, because you really, really do become like the people you hang out with. Now we come to the last leg of manifestation, which is continuity. So have you ever started something and you get great results, then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I'm getting results, and then it just like, it like falls flat. So yeah, I got you. That is so disappointing, but that's why you need continuity. It keeps you on track so you can keep on moving in a positive direction. You need some type of system that you can just plug into that will continue your good results. It's like wash, rinse, repeat. You know, you just set up the system and the system works every single day, day in, day out. There is truly nothing. With the right system, there is nothing you can't accomplish. Like, this year has so much potential, but the pattern has probably been work for a few weeks and stop, which is why each year looks like the one before it. And when you keep up your routines, your map, you're going to get results that are dramatically different than anything you've had before. Like, you're going to have the power to radically transform your life, just like thousands of moms have done as well. Now, let me ask you a question. This has been like really cool, and hopefully you've learned some really good stuff, but an hour is not that long to get everything in. So how would you like to work with me? Like, directly, so I can help you implement this. All right? Yes, I want to work with you. I want you to get results in your life. So if you're ready to do this, then, you know, like Nikki says, let's go. Like, let's just do it. Ready? All right. Now remember, stick with me, okay? At the end of this, I'm going to give you a private link where you're going to get my $297 Squeeze the Day program, totally free, no strings attached. But I really want to share what we're getting started with, and I would love for you to come with me and let's work together. Now, first of all, remember those 2 moms? Like, remember them? Okay. Now, one will do nothing. She thinks, oh, I got enough to help me. And then she won't take any action. The notes will get stashed on the stacks of stuff she already has around the house. She's not going to take that leap of faith. The first mom, she's ready to take action. All right? She's ready to make a small investment in herself and her family, in her home. She's ready to give it a shot, especially if it's 100% risk-free. One's going to get results. The other will still be left with overwhelm, exhaustion, and excuses. Now, every once in a while, we open up enrollment for what we call Mom Boot Camp. You've heard me talk about it, right? Now, we limit enrollment because I like to work very personally with our Mom Boot Camp moms. They are amazing. But let me show you what we do. For 4 weeks, we go through 8 modules together. One very, very powerful prep session, and then we do all 7 steps of the Mom Mastery Method. Now, the entire Mom Boot Camp with all the modules is priced at $1,997. But maybe you're one of those moms that I've worked with before who thinks, oh, Hannah, like, I don't ever follow up on things. Like, I don't follow through. Girl, I got you covered. I do, because inside each module, we also include a thorough action guide to help you really, really get in and grasp the lesson and follow along and how to apply it personally to your life so that you get results. Now, these action guides that I include, they're valued at $450. But maybe you're thinking, you know, I need support. Like, I really do. I can't do this by myself. This is actually one of the most critical parts of Mom Boot Camp as well. It's our support system. And it's also one of the most fun parts. This is two of our boot campers. This is Jessica and Erica. And I'm telling you right now, our mom tribe is so strong and we are growing and we are so powerfully positive and inspiring. One of the best things about Mom Boot Camp is the relationships you develop, and we make sure that you get that going strong by including our private Facebook group. Now, the access to this is valued at $650 because this is where we do the interaction and the support. It's actually one of the most valuable parts of Mom Boot Camp. But like a lot of moms, you might be thinking, Hannah, like, I don't have enough time. Like, I'm already like so scattered. I don't have enough time to do anything. I could not do this in addition to everything going on. Actually, let me explain something. You have 24 hours in a day, exactly what some of the most successful and productive people in the world have. It may just be you haven't learned how to use it to your advantage. Remember Sandra? She implemented the MAP module and she was able to multiply her efforts and check it out, have so much extra time to do things, which is so exciting. Now we include the MAP as well as reprint permission for life. So you get all the tools you need to get your day organized so you actually free up time and manage it like a boss. You're not going to have to buy any more day planners. This is it. And you get access immediately to the MAP with the reprint permission when you get inside Mom Boot Camp. But you know what? Let's be real here. Like, since we run these live, there will be times when you just can't show up. Like, I'm a mom. I know what that's like. Like, that happens. And you may have a doctor's appointment or you got to help one of your kids or you just can't tune in. That's totally fine, because even if you can't tune in live, you get access immediately to all of the videos and everything. So when that runs, if you can't tune in, you can go right to it afterwards and it's there waiting for you. Also, when you get inside Mom Boot Camp, you have lifetime access to everything, so you can always go back. Now, maybe you're thinking, Hannah, girl, I'd love to. I do not have enough money. Like, it is just a fact. Well, let me show you. This is Jennifer. And Jennifer Renz, she thought that as well. In fact, check out her post. She said, when I was paying for Mom Boot Camp 2.0, I wondered if I was wasting my money yet again. Let me share something with you all. Implementing methods in Mom Boot Camp 2.0, I've saved $286 by eating healthy, $340 in saving at a minimum, $140 in dining out, all this in 1 month, $766. That sees my get out of debt goal. I've lost 10 pounds, read a Bible verse and reflect daily, seem to be more at peace with myself and the world around me since January 1st. That's when she joined Mom Boot Camp, January 1st. And she already in the first month made $766. Now, this is another one of our Mom Boot Campers. This is Bonnie. And check it out. She saved up 10 times the cost of Mom Boot Camp within 1 month of completing it. How cool is that? So let me ask you something. Would it make sense to pay me $3,000 to set up this entire system for you? What if I could give you the tools to save about $500 a month? Okay, in a year, you would have $6,000. Would that make sense? Like, pay $3,000 to get $6,000? It's kind of like me paying $7,000 to get $17,000. Like, of course, like, heck yeah. All day, every day, of course that makes sense. Well, that's why I added, as a bonus, I'm including our 48 formula program, which helps you cut your expense and increase your income at an average of about $500 a month. Now, this program sells for $197, but I'm including it in this package as one of the bonuses, totally for free. Now, one of our campers, Jennifer, she was able to use this program and save $700 the first month she used it. It gets radical results. But I want you to just consider this. Like, money always replenishes itself, okay? At the end of the month, more money always comes in from some source. It always does. but time does not. So why wait on this? Why would you put off living an organized, stress-free life for one more day? You could commit now, you could commit a year from now. Why don't we just take time out of the equation and get started working together right now so you can get results? Because you're not going to get your time back. But you might be thinking, Hannah, I'd love to, but I'm not organized enough. Girl, I totally get it. Okay, your life probably feels like this, just a jumbled mess. I know mine did. And almost every mom I work with deals with disorganization to some extent. So I developed a system that turns this jumbled mess into total clarity. And it's called the Pro. And the system works. Because like everything else in Mom Boot Camp, it's based on a mindset shift and works from the inside out, turning your current identity of just a mom into that of a professional. And as a result, girl, organization, like from the inside out. You no longer have to deal with that chaos, and I'm including it as one of the bonuses. As this is our $297 program, we're including it as one of the bonuses. But again, girl, I got you. As a mom, I know what you're thinking. Like, you're thinking, Hannah, oh my gosh, I have tried so many other things. Now remember that this trademark Mom Mastery Method is based on an inside-out transformation, right? Keep in mind, please keep in mind that the programs you probably tried before were made by and for SCPs, and it didn't work for you, girl. You are an MVP. That is who you are. You need something that works for you. Remember how we reprogram your brain by the internal dialogue that we create? Well, I am determined. When you enroll in Mom Bootcamp, you are going to get this down completely. That's why I'm including our affirmations crash course. And it also has bonus cards. Yes, you can print it out, post it around your home. Altogether, this program is $317. I'm also including that as one of the bonuses when you enroll in Mom Bootcamp. Now another big one. Girl, our lives are already so tough. You may be thinking, Hannah, it's just too hard. Like, I got you. That's true. You're right. It totally is. I was there, I know, but I've taken care of that too. See, it's not how much work you do, it's how you're doing it. It's kind of like when you're trying to cut bread with your hands. Like, it's going to be messy. It's going to be hard. It's going to be frustrating, right? Well, I created a program for moms, and it's kind of like the ultimate cheat tool to make your work so much easier and more efficient. It's kind of like the knife, so you can cut through all that mess. You can do your work with ease, and you can slice that bread, baby. This program is called Dirty 30, and just check out these results. Dirty 30 method changed my life. I used to get so overwhelmed when I had tasks to do and rarely finish what I started. Since implementing Dirty 30, able to get way more accomplished with peace, enjoy the process. Bethany said, Dirty 30s make me feel like a boss. Knowing there's a stopping point keeps me motivated to hustle. I usually finish the job in much less time than I thought it would take. Or maybe these. Alicia said, Dirty 30s are amazing. I have a hard time focusing when it comes to certain tasks, and having a hard time stop keeps me moving. It's helped my 9-year-old get stuff done more easily as well. She'll even set a timer without prompting now. So cool. Bonnie said, Dirty 30 is perfect for those tasks that you can't seem to get started. I love it. You make more progress than you even thought you could. Carrie said, Dirty 30 has challenged my inner procrastinator. If there's a task I don't want to do, I set a timer, get it done. It actually has 5-star rating, and I'm going to include it. I'm going to include this too. I have covered all the bases for you, because I don't want this to be a struggle for you. I want just to set up the system, and the system works. But what about this biggie? This is such a big one for moms. My husband won't understand. Mama, I got you. I took care of that too, because we created the husband letter, explaining what Mom Bootcamp is, why you enrolled in it, so you can not only get his understanding, but you can get his support too. We also included an attachment to the letter that is filled with testimonials from husbands. Husbands like Harry, I love this, Harry and Sherry. He said, I have my wife back. I hadn't realized how different things had become until I saw how great they could be. So we already took care of that. You get that husband letter. It is ready as soon as you enroll in the boot camp. Okay, you have access to it immediately. You can print it out and get your husband's support. Now, I included that. It's right there, and it is priceless because you can work as a team. But you know, I know moms, and you might be thinking, Hannah, yeah, okay, but what if it doesn't work? Like, come on, like, let's be real. What if it doesn't work? Then get your money back. It's that simple. We have 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Try out the first 2 modules. Take it on a test drive. Like, if you don't like it, show us your work, get your money back. It's that easy. So it's completely risk-free. The only thing you've got to lose is mom fatigue syndrome, and I'm thinking you probably want to get rid of that. And remember, y'all, I'm just a regular mom. Like, there's nothing special or magical about me. If I can do it, anyone can do it. I can't even figure out how to turn on our television set, y'all. So let's go over what you get. You get the Mom Boot Camp, all 8 modules. You get the action guides. You get the private Facebook group. You get the map with reprint permission. You get our first bonus, the 48 formula, second bonus, the pro, third bonus, the affirmations crash course, and the fourth bonus, Dirty 30. Priceless, right? Priceless. The entire program is $4,055. But you know what? Since you stuck with me, I'm not going to charge you that. Like, no way. I am bringing the price down to $9.97. That is what our program costs. In the store, that's what it costs, is $9.97. But you know what? Since you made it through this entire masterclass, I'm going to meet you halfway. I'm putting in $500 to bring that price down to $497. Hey, Mama, sorry for the interruption, but I was doing some work around the house, and I was thinking, last time we did Mom Boot Camp, I gave everyone who enrolled a special gift of $100 off, and I decided I want to do that for you too. So if you get enrolled today, I'm going to take $100 off the price. I'm doing this because I don't want anything standing in the way between you and that person I know God designed you to be, to that abundant life that He designed you to live. So get enrolled today, and I'll be taking $100 off. Yes! Back to the show. But I need to warn you, like, we keep a strict limit on the moms we allow into this Mom Boot Camp. There are only so many spots available, and they will get filled up. This Mom Boot Camp always maxes out. Since you're watching this class right now, there are still some spots available, but I can't guarantee for how long. It'll fill up. And when it does, we'll be closing enrollment. So you really need to make your move now. But I want you to think about something. Like, think about us sitting together. We're enjoying a cup of coffee, just like me and Carrie here. And you're sharing how much Mom Boot Camp transformed your life. I want you to think about this. If you only got, okay, we're hanging out together. If you only got peace in your home, or maybe structure in your day. Maybe the only thing you got was just no more stress and anxiety, or you just got a decluttered home, maybe obedient kids. Maybe only thing you got was financial freedom. Wouldn't it be worth it? Like, wouldn't it be worth the investment just if you only got one of these things? But one more thing. A lot of moms struggle with completion. I get that. You could be thinking that you always start things and you don't finish it, and this will just be one more thing added to the list. Well, I want you to check out Michelle. She was notorious for trying out every program in the book, starting and stopping. And check out her testimonial. Check out what happened. Okay, so off her anxiety drugs, right. And then so start with the jazzercise.
Yeah, and before I got sick, I was doing jazzercise. I love it because I'm a dancer, and I got back into that and actually completed the February Heart Challenge, which was 20 classes in 28 days. I did 20 classes in 26 days. Yeah,
above and beyond, typical master mom. Above and beyond, like, give me a goal and watch me exceed it.
Right. So those were the first 2 things off, and I'm just looking forward to just pulling those things off, taking the push pins off and put them in my harvest folder.
That's
so.
right. And so Mom Boot Camp isn't something like when you complete it, like that's kind of like, it kind of just like is not the completion of it, but it's like, all right, now I got the skills and you're moving forward. Like you're using it.
Oh yeah, it's the skills, and like I love that expression, inner mom, because you've got to work from the inside out.
Yes.
Instead of like putting a Band-Aid on something,
Right.
you know, which just covers up, but it still festers. But this is great. This method is wonderful because it works on the inside out, and that's the only way that it's going to be permanent.
That's so true. Because like all the other systems, the diets, the everything that you try to
Right.
get your body under control and your stress level under control.
Right.
Stress programs, time management, all that kind of stuff is like you said, it's like the Band-Aids.
Right, right.
But this is the inside. And that is it like any other program you've ever done?
None, nothing. This one works. The others didn't.
That's basically the qualifying factor.
Right.
It works. Well, I'm so excited for you. And this is just the beginning.
Oh yeah, I'm excited what the Lord has for me. I am just like, woo dee.
So anyone who's thinking about plugging into this Mom Mastery Method, plugging into the Mom Boot Camp.
Don't think twice. Just do it. And you don't have to be a mom, which I love that you don't have to be a mom of little kids. You don't even have to be a mom. These are life skills for anybody, women or men, really.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about it. It's something that you can take through life,
Amen. Awesome.
through every season. So.
Awesome. Get your tail inside.
Yes, do it. Yes, do it.
Awesome. I love it. Now, what she was notorious, like I said, for starting and stopping, but she completed it. And by the way, I almost forgot about this. When you complete the Mom Boot Camp, you get our official Mom Boot Camp shirt, just like the one Michelle was wearing. You can't buy this, girl. You can't buy this. You can only earn it. In fact, we have a completion rate of over 90%. Yeah, check it out. Now, you might be thinking another thing, and I want to talk about this too. You may be feeling like I am already so overwhelmed. I can't take on one more thing like this, right? I am already so overwhelmed. I got you, girl. But remember, that's why you are here. That's why we're spending time together. Saying you're too overwhelmed to do the Mom Boot Camp is kind of like saying you're too cold to build a fire, right? See, Mom Boot Camp is an incremental program. Like, look at all the modules we go through. We go through all of these modules step by step, and we build you up gradually and release all of the programs in a systematic way so that you are not overwhelmed. Remember, Mama, your baby had to learn how to crawl before it could learn how to walk, before it could learn how to run, right? And we follow the same process. It's a system. All you have to do is you plug it in and you let Mom Boot Camp do the work. But keep in mind, like Mom Boot Camp, just like Michelle says, she creates, these are skills for life. You know, you do it once and you have it forever in 1 year. That breaks down to $9.50 a week. Like, and that breaks down to $1.37 a day. And you are so worth $1.37 a day. You're worth a whole lot more than that. You are worth it. And if you don't do it for you, okay, come on. If you don't do it for you, do it for those kids who need a mom who is at the top of her game and not overwhelmed and not exhausted and not stressed out. Just to go over it one more time, I want to make sure you know everything you get when you enroll in Mom Boot Camp today for only $497. You get the entire $2,000 program, Mom Boot Camp, all 8 modules working together for 4 weeks. You also get action guides, $450. You get the private Facebook group, $650. You get the map with total reprint permission. Have that in your hands, $50. You get our first bonus, the 48 formula, our second bonus, the pro, our third bonus, the affirmations crash course, the fourth bonus, the dirty 30, and of course, we cannot leave out that wonderful husband letter. Now, I told you at the beginning that if you stuck with me throughout this entire masterclass, I would give you our best-selling productivity course, Squeeze the Day, totally for free. So here it is. You can go to this link right here and access it right now. But I want you to remember something, that, and this is the tough reality of it, that if you just stick with the free stuff, You're continuing a pattern of starting and stopping, and nothing is going to change. It's going to take a bold move. You're not here by luck. It's not just like chance and coincidence. You're here for a purpose. And it is your time to step into that life that God designed for you to live, that life of abundance. But it's going to take a bold move to scratch up that record or the DVD or the digital file, whatever, to break that pattern that you've been living. And if you want to change your life, it's going to take a bold move, and it's going to take today. So remember, you're one step away, girl. Remember the first step, massive action. Make today that day you take that first step. I'll be waiting for you inside Mom Boot Camp. Get enrolled today, and let's work together to create the best life you could ever imagine. Bye-bye. So that's it. I hope you got so much out of this time together. Thanks for sticking with me. And I want you to know, whether you join me or not for the Mom Boot Camp, that just know this right now, that you are so loved, that God knows you, He notices you, He loves you tremendously, and you are so valuable and worthy. I just want to make sure you know that before we end this time together, that you truly are a treasure. And I want to thank you again for just hanging out with me for a while. I hope this has blessed you, and I also hope I see you inside Mom Boot Camp.